Hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity to stay consistent with your marketing and reach more customers. My name is Penny, and I'm going to guide you through this content development process. It's my goal to teach you to do something with your content that's more than just creating engaging content that you're going to post. The idea behind your content and your marketing is to reach more qualified customers. And that's what we're going to do here on this channel. So if you want to learn more about creativity and how this can help you develop your content marketing plans, I would love it if you would hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. And below in the description box, there are several links. One of the links that you'll see is for the Content Prompt Playbook. This one is going to be a free download that's actually going to tie into today's conversation. So for those of you who are already using ChatGPT and you need some help and a guide so that you can get it to speak directly to your business and the products and services that you're selling, this is a free download that's going to take you through the steps and show you how to do that. Another link that you're going to see is for the Marketing Strategy Collective. You will hear me talk about my group program throughout our videos, throughout the times that we're together. And this is it. This is the opportunity that you can personally work with me and develop your own remarkable content. And you can do it in a supportive group space and see what happens with your marketing strategy when you finally get the tools and learn the skills and get the support that you need. The links are below. You know what to do to learn more. Okay, let's jump into today. And like I said, we're going to talk about chat. I want to talk about chat because I know why you're using it. I know you weren't looking for more tools. You weren't thinking to yourself, it's my quest to be a better writer. You were trying to use chat to help you create content easier. Make it work faster, make it less frustrating, less time of you sitting there staring at the blank screen going, oh, what am I supposed to say? That's when it happened. That's what you're using it for. I totally get it because I did too. That's when I stepped into it as well. But if you've been in this for a few months, or even since last year like I have, you'll notice that something is starting to happen. You're noticing that it doesn't quite give you what you want to use. So then you get this information and you're looking at it, you're going, oh my goodness, this is like 3 other posts that I just saw on LinkedIn. This is exactly the same thing that everybody else is getting. So you rewrite it and you tweak it and you add a few more prompts and do this and do this and do this, and somehow this thing that's supposed to save you time and effort is now still taking just as long as if you were sitting in front of a blank screen and trying to figure this out on your own. And sometimes even longer. Because now we're trying to fix the thing that we thought was broken and trying to rewrite it and tweak it, or starting all over again. So the question is ChatGPT really working the way you thought it was? Is it really saving you time? So let's talk about this, because I get it. I'm right there with you, folks. Because at first, it felt like it was working. You type in something, and it gives you this response. And you're like, oh, this is good. This is good stuff. I didn't think about it like that. That was a different angle. This could actually start to help me. So then you integrate this into your process, your writing, your content creation, your development of whatever it is you're working on. And then you get yourself into this space where you're like, what is happening here? What is this thing that was supposed to save me time is not just taking longer, it's sometimes taking even longer than my original process that I was doing. So let's back up about 5 steps here, because I think here's a thing that you're not really putting it all together. Because the time that you spend on your content, the time that you're doing this with chat, it was never about just writing better copy, because chat didn't remove that kind of work. It just moved it into a different tool. So now, instead of spending your time brainstorming and developing, what am I going to say? You're spending time, okay, so this is all generic. What should I be asking them? And then you think, okay, this isn't working either, so I need to adjust my prompts. And then maybe even you say, okay, well, let's see what chat does. Let's see what Claude is saying. And then you start editing both of them based upon what comes back and what's going to be and you're trying to merge everything together. You're still doing the work. It just looks different now, because now you got a tool or two that you've now brought into this whole process that you're developing. And I think that this is where you're getting stuck, because chat, AI tools, all of it, I'm just going to say chat just because it's just the first thing in my head. So I'm just going to say chat when I do mean AI tools. The way they work and the way they're set up, it feels like it should be easy. But see, no one's talking about this. And then the people that are talking about this, they're trying to put you into different categories and different places. But I want to talk about this because I think what's actually happening behind the scenes is that most of you are sitting down and typing in something like, okay, chat, write a post to sell my product. I'm going to be posting this on Instagram. And ChatGPT does exactly what you asked it to. It gives you a post. It says, here's my product. This is what I'm selling. And it's good. It's not bad. But it sounds like everybody else. So what do? You start fixing it. You change the tone. You rewrite the sections because it doesn't sound like you. And now you need it to sound like you. And now you've just turned this one task into 3 tasks. And not because chat or your AI tool isn't working. It's because what you gave it to work with wasn't specific enough. So when we are vague with our input, when we are vague with our questions of write a post to sell my product, that's what we get back. So when you're vague with your information with chat, you're actually creating more work for yourself and not making this easier. So, and I get this because I was in that same place too, and that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I see this happening all the time now. As a matter of fact, I taught this class for a SCORE workshop, and I had one of the largest groups of people attending this workshop, and I knew they were asking me the same questions and the same things because they were in the same exact place where you are, where they were saying, I don't think I know how to use this right. I didn't realize that there was prompts that I was supposed to be using. I need to learn more about how AI works. And so if you're getting into that place, that's a good movement to get into, because it's not that you're doing something wrong. It's that you're expecting chat to fill in the gaps for you, and it can't. It doesn't know how you talk, how you explain things, what your customers need to hear. So it automatically defaults to what's safe and generic and the thing that's going to sell your product, right? But it doesn't sound like you. And that's not how you would connect to them. So it definitely doesn't feel done. And then that's when the cycle happens. So you're editing and editing and editing, and then you're right back where you started from. So I want to reframe this. I want you to think about chat and how you're using it. Because chat is not the content creator. You are. Chat is your content assistant. And it's like you having a virtual assistant, and you saying to your virtual assistant who just got hired and he doesn't know anything, he or she does not know anything about your business, and you say to her, okay, we're going to be writing some Instagram posts to promote my product. Go write me 5 Instagram posts. And she looks at you like, okay, what does the product do? Who's it for? How does it help people? I don't know this information. I don't know what your customers actually need. So then she hands you this information and it's all very generic because she didn't know who your customers were. She doesn't know what the product does. She doesn't know how it helps people. You do. So this is the information that you have to be sharing with chat as well. Because chat's not going to replace your thinking. What it's going to do is it's going to organize it. It's going to turn it into the marketing message that you're looking for. But only works when you give it something very clear and precise. Because when we think about content creation, it's not about writing sentences or making videos or creating images. It's about knowing what you're trying to say, who you're saying to, and why it matters. Those questions that your VA would have asked you. Who are you talking to? What does the product do? How does it help them? All of this is information that you know, but chat doesn't. And once you give that information to chat, it becomes clear, it becomes faster. But without that, it's just going to feed you more generic, basic content that you're going to have to rework and edit again. So think about it from that place. So instead of saying something like, write a post to sell my product on Instagram, you'll say, write 5 posts for small business owners who feel like they need to use this product because it's going to help them solve this particular situation and it's going to help them learn how to do X, Y, and Z. You keep it conversational, include a relatable example about how this X, Y, and Z works and the results that they're going to find. You see the difference? I was so specific about where I was going to show up, what they were going to do. I know I did X, Y, and Z, but you get the idea. I was real specific about who I was talking to, what I wanted to promote, what was the overall result that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to have a real example so people could see themselves in it, a little storytelling in there. So you see the difference here? My write a post to sell my product versus, that was probably like 3 or 4 sentences in there that I shared. Because now chat has a clear idea who my customer is, understands the real problem of my product, and knows the tone to follow. When I said, keep it conversational, give me an example, I proceeded to give it more data and more information. So when I gave that information, the output that I get, it's going to be a whole heck of a lot closer to something that I would actually use and would sound more like me, and is talking directly to my customers. And that's where the time saving comes in. It's not about how many posts can I knock out in the next hour, but from getting something that is usable the very first time that you put that in. And that part matters. It matters so much, especially if you're using chat for your business. Because if your content, if your marketing isn't connected to what your business is doing, what your customers need, chat's not going to fix that. It's just going to help you write more content that doesn't go anywhere. So if you keep talking about things that aren't helping people, chat's just going to keep creating more copy about things that are generic and not helping people. And I think that's where a lot of you are right now. You're creating more and more, but not seeing results. So the issue isn't how much you're putting out there that you're creating. It's whether this content that you're creating is actually connecting back to your business. So, if you're doing all of this work and you're thinking this is taking so long and I'm rewriting everything and this doesn't sound like me, it's not because chat or your AI tools isn't working. It's because of what it's working with. And when you fix that part, everything gets easier. And that's exactly the kind of things that we've been talking about in the Marketing Strategy Collective that I've been working on my clients with lately, because I see this. I see what they're putting into chat and how they're structuring ideas. And I can see where the disconnect is just by creating some simple prompts and some information to share with chat. So we think about it from that place. we can fix this. And when you do fix it like this, you find yourself, you're not rewriting everything. You're not second guessing and saying, this sounds so generic, should I even post it? You look at what comes out, you're like, yes, that was right on. That was so right there. It's what I needed. And you can use that, what you're creating, because now it's connected to how you think and what your business and what your customers need. So if there's something that you've been running into lately, think about this place. Start paying attention to this one thing. What are you actually giving chat to work with when you're asking for your content? If you answer that question right there and you're thinking, I didn't really give him anything, I just gave chat, I told it to write a post for Instagram. Well, if you say, what are you giving chat to work with? That's when the shift starts. So if we think about it from that place, that's where we want to go. That's where we want to be. And if you've been feeling like this takes longer than it should, if you've been doing the work and not really getting ahead, it's not just about saving time on content. It's also about what this time is costing you. Because every hour you spend rewriting, every time you're second guessing, every time you're starting over, is time that you're not actually moving forward with your business. It's time that you're not actually sharing what it is, because maybe you get to a place where you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore, and you rip it up and you're like, that's it, I'm not even going to share this. We're not doing this today. So take this real shift here, because when you get clearer about what you're asking ChatGPT to do and how it connects to your businesses, you're not just creating content faster. You're creating content that actually supports what your business is trying to do. So instead of just sitting down and wondering what to say every single time, know going into this that you're creating your content with direction and intention. And when your content starts to feel like it's a part of your business, not separate from it, that's when it's more than just your content getting done. It's about getting results from the time that you're already putting into it. So thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode has given you some ideas about to learn more skills for your marketing, I would love it if you would hit that button below. And then do me a favor. Hit the share button and share this with another business owners. And let's keep this conversation going. But if you yourself, you're wanting to take this further, and join me inside the Marketing Strategy Collective, because we are going to take all of these ideas. We're going to talk about everything with chat, your content plan, all of the things that you use to drive sales. That's what we're doing together in a supportive group online space. You get monthly strategy workbooks. We're doing things like a monthly Zoom call where you get to actually talk things through with the other members in the group. So stop working in a solo bubble, work in a collaborative space, and get the help you need, because you are magnificent, my friend. And let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.